Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This has been a long time since we've done a sit down and chat, hasn't it? Well, get yourself a drink. I would get myself another coffee. I really want to, but I've already had 4 today and it's 11 a.m. So I probably should probably hold off. So I'm not going to have a drink, but by all means, you go for it. And if I was doing an evening Q&A, I might even have a G&T, but I'm not. So basically, the reason I'm looking at my phone is not because I'm being rude. It's because, as you've seen from the title, this is a Q&A and I ask for questions over on Instagram. I tend to ask for questions on Instagram because it's a bit more instant. I'm on there every single day. I'm very, very active on Instagram. I absolutely love posting on there. So if you don't follow me over on there, then head over, give me a follow. And you also then won't miss the chance to ask some questions, because if I ask YouTube viewers for questions, then I have to prep really far in advance. Do you know what I mean? I have to think about it in a video, plan ahead. And I'm not good at planning, guys. I'm all about spontaneity. Anyway, let's get on with the video. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to HelloFresh, who are going to be sponsoring this video, but I'll come on to them in a second. Let's dive straight in, guys. I haven't even looked at these questions yet, so this is the first time that I am even looking at them. So let's just start with the first one. There's no order to this. How do the kids feel about being on your YouTube channels? They really like it. In fact, I basically, you guys will know that I've been posting a bit less frequently, still every week, apart from when I've had, a little break, but like 1 video a week, as opposed to in the past when I've done 2 or 3 a week. Even Fletcher came up to me the other day and was like, Joel, you seem to be very quiet on YouTube at the minute, which I thought was very cute that he'd noticed. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to be doing a bit less on there because I'm so busy with all the other things that I'm doing. And he was like, does that mean I can't be in the videos anymore? So yeah, they very much enjoy being in the videos. I think he enjoys it mainly because he gets paid, because Keegan and I pay the kids when they appear in the videos on our Keegan and Joel channel. But yeah, they enjoy it. They're only ever on camera when they want to be. I know for some people, like family vloggers and getting kids involved in online content can be a bit controversial. But I think it's different with Taylor and Fletcher because they're 15 and 11, or she's literally 16 in less than a week. And Fletcher's going to be 12 this year. So whilst they're not adults, they still know what they want to do and what they don't want to do. And if they don't want to film, we don't film. So yeah. Have you found any favorite American sweets that you can't get in the UK? I definitely have. When you say sweets, I automatically think of like fruity candy. So I'm like, oh no, there isn't any really, because I prefer chocolatey, cakey stuff, but I forget that to American, candy is that stuff, and then sweets is like anything sweet or dessert like. So yeah, sugar cookies. You guys, we don't have the sugar cookies. You know the like really cakey ones that you get from supermarkets with frosting on the top? They're so good. Fletcher is also addicted to those, and so is Keegan. Taylor doesn't really like sugary stuff, so I mean, lucky her. What else? Nutter butters. Oh my gosh, those peanut-shaped, peanut buttery biscuits. Oh my gosh, they are so good. We don't get those here. Oh, C's candy as well. One of my viewers, Michael, who's been a long-time viewer, he sent me a box of C's candy for Easter. We just don't. C's candy is like the only, no offense, it's like the only good American chocolate that I've ever tasted. I've said it before, I won't bang on about it, but American chocolate to Brits is like not very good quality. However, C's candy is incredible. So it obviously exists. It's just probably the American commercialized chocolate like Hershey's and stuff is just not up to our standards of chocolate here. No offense, sorry, I know that everyone's very loyal to their favorite chocolate, but yeah. So yeah, C's is probably the only American chocolate that I, like tasting. The next question is your favorite restaurant in the US. My favorite one that I've ever been to probably is the one I went to earlier this year, which is Rocco's Tacos. We went to the one in Orlando. Apparently they're in Tampa and they're sort of dotted all over Florida. I don't know if they're just a Florida thing or if they're everywhere else. You guys will tell me. But oh my gosh, it was so good. Firstly, the theming of the restaurant was on point. It felt really upmarket and also fun because it was Mexican themed. And then the food was so good. I mean, we didn't get it, but the guacamole, I saw the people next to me in a massive stone bowl, piles of guacamole and tortilla chips as well. We had some amazing like esquites, we had some tacos, like fish tacos, chicken tacos. Would 100% go back again. There was a massive hour-and-a-half queue to get in. And then there was 2 seats at the bar and we were like, can we just sit at the bar? And they were like, yeah. It turns out Americans don't want to sit at the bar. I don't understand what it is. Americans will queue for an hour and a half, for 90 minutes. They'll sit outside on a bench waiting for a table, but they won't sit at the bar. Like, I get it if you're a big group, but it just baffles me. In the UK, no one queues for restaurants. And you know Brits, we love queuing, but no one waits for a restaurant. Like my dad, as soon as in Florida, if we walk in somewhere and the wait is longer than 15 minutes, he's like, we're not going. Like, we don't queue. We're not queuing. Nothing's worth a queue. Anyway, talking about food, let me just chat to you guys about HelloFresh. As you know, I've been a big HelloFresh fan for years now. I used HelloFresh years ago. I used HelloFresh during the pandemic, and now using HelloFresh again in a family environment. So you guys will have seen me cooking for Keegan and the kids quite a lot. I've really gotten into it. But I'd say one of the big things that I really like about HelloFresh at the minute is that it actually really does help prevent food waste. Like, it's so easy when you're in a family, and I've only realized this since joining Keegan's family, that when you're cooking for like 4 people or more, food waste is a real thing. You can like overcook, and I know you can save some for later, which is what we did this week. We made an amazing green Thai curry, and because the kids weren't here, we boxed up the other 2 portions and left them in the fridge and had it for lunch the next day. It was so good. I also like that I don't have to do any meal planning, like, because we do a grocery shop for, you know, all the snacks and, you know, things that we eat that aren't main meals. But it's just so nice that when I do those grocery shops, all I'm doing is placing an order for milk, eggs, bread, like all the essentials. I'm not having to plan what herbs and spices do I need, what vegetables do I need, are the vegetables going to go off by the time I cook that meal on Thursday, Like, HelloFresh gets it delivered to your door, exactly what you need, no more, no less. It's incredible. But if you've been listening to this and you're like, I've been hearing Joel talk about HelloFresh and I've still not given it a go and I want to try it, then absolutely do. You won't find a deal better than the one I'm about to give you, okay, anywhere else. You get 60% off your first box, plus 20% off your boxes for the next 2 months, plus free desserts for life. You get free desserts for life, guys, if you sign up using the code HelloWood. How camp is that? I love that. It's not Joel Wood, HelloWood. If you are interested, you can scan this QR code and it will take you to the website, or like I said, use the code HelloWood or click the link down below in the description and you will get the offer there. Right, on with the questions. Will you ever come to Australia? Yes, I have wanted to go to Australia for years because I've been a big Neighbours fan, which, if you don't know, is a soap opera set in Australia. Since then, one of my best friends, Chris, has moved out to Florida. You may remember him from, I think I vlogged when I went to Barcelona with Chris and when I went to Lisbon with him. He moved to Australia, so I haven't seen him for years now. Yeah, so I really would like to go and see him there. And then the other day, Keegan was like, I really want to go to Australia, which is odd for Keegan because he previously has been like, I've got no desire to go to Australia. He would go to New Zealand, but he was like, not that bothered about Australia. And then suddenly he's changed his tune. So we were thinking the other day, like, maybe one day we will go to Australia and then hop over to New Zealand. I say hop over, it's still like a 3-hour flight. I thought it was like a 45-minute flight or something. Apparently not. Where are your favourite places to holiday in Europe? Now, you guys, I have been to Europe a few times. I've been to France, been to Spain, been to Germany, been to Sweden, been to Portugal. That's about it. Oh, I've been to Greece. So I have been to some places, but the thing about us Brits, and Americans can't get their head around it, is that we don't really take advantage of living close to all these countries. I've never been to Ireland. I could jump on a plane today and be in Ireland in 40 minutes. Why haven't I gone? I want to go to Ireland. I've been to Scotland, I've been to Wales, I've been to England, live in England. Why haven't I been to Ireland? Do you know what I mean? Why haven't I been to Italy? I've never been to Italy. Why? I don't know if I'm the best person to ask about this. One place that I already mentioned just now, Lisbon, was beautiful. Lisbon's in Portugal. Stunning. I went to see these amazing castles and they were just all brightly coloured on this hill. They were just stunning. I absolutely loved Lisbon, so I would definitely recommend that. I've been to San Sebastian in Spain, which is northern Spain. Is it? Yeah, I think it is. It's northern Spain. I went there years ago when I was like a teenager on a Spanish exchange, but it was amazing. It's like the food capital of Spain and it's divine. The food's incredible. The sea is incredible. I definitely recommend that. Joe, hi Joe. Joe says, if you restarted your life from scratch, do you think you would end up in the same place? Definitely not. Well, firstly, just in probability, it's like you never know what tiny decision has led you to where you are. So, like, on probability, I'm like, no. If I'm just thinking practically, would I redo the same things to get to where I am? Yes and no. Like, yes, in terms of I'm really happy where I am. Like, I love my life. I love my job. Like, I've got nothing to complain about. Yeah, I still find loads of things to complain about. But I've got nothing to complain about. I absolutely love my life. So yeah, I would try to do the same things to get to where I am. But yeah, if I'm being picky, there are certain things that I would change. Or do you know what I would change? Just making the most of life. I'm so focused on the future that it comes to my detriment when I think back. Like, even like when I was living in London working jobs that I hated 10 years ago, I look back now and go, oh, that was really nice. And like, oh, if only I'd made the most of not having much money or responsibilities, or, you know, living super close to all my friends, and, you know, but at the time I wasn't focused on that because I didn't know that there was, you know, the next level of my life was coming. I was like, what if this is it? What if this is the rest of my life? And so I like hated every moment. Whereas if I knew what I knew now, I could sit back and enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Or like with dating Keegan, as soon as I started dating Keegan, I started thinking forward to like the future, or like once I decided I was going to move in with him, and now I look back and go, why didn't I just enjoy living with Lucy in London and stop thinking so much about the future? Even now, I start planning what's our next house going to be like, instead of enjoying life. This is a bit of a tangent. Anyway, do you get what I mean? I can't answer this question, guys. Someone has said Pepsi Max versus Coke Zero. Which one is it? I can't tell you. I honestly can't, because I buy, well, I was going to say both of them. I buy 3. I buy Pepsi Max, I buy Coke Zero, and I buy Diet Coke, because they all taste different, and sometimes I am in the mood for something else. Pepsi Max to me is the sweetest of all of them, and then Coke Zero is like not quite as sweet, but maybe more cola-y. And then Diet Coke is sort of like the most muted of them. I feel like it's quite sharp, but not that sweet. And do you know, I could 100% tell the difference between all the different Cokes. If I was blindfolded and you put full fat Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, Pepsi Max, Diet Pepsi, Pepsi, I could tell you the difference between all of them. So yeah, I can't tell you, I'm sorry. In the near future, is there going to be an increase on the membership to YouTube? No plans on doing that, guys. I probably should, as like a business. You know, inflation, everything's going up. So probably as a business person, I should say, yes, maybe one day the memberships will go up. But no, that's not even occurred to me. I like to keep the membership tiers affordable for anyone who wants to be a member can try it, at least for 1 month. I know that some people might not be able to afford a membership all year, but you don't need to be a membership for a year. You can get 1 month's membership, try it out, and then cancel. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to create some bonus content for those that want it. So this is a bit self-promotion now, guys, sorry. Yeah, I have 3 tiers. So the first tier is 99 cents or 99p or 99 cents, whatever your currency is. And that is basically, you get the badges next to your name. If you scroll to the comments, you'll see some people have little icons next to their name. That is to differentiate them as members, and the icon changes based on how long you've been a member. So if you've been a member for under a year, it's like one thing. If you've been a member for 2 years, it turns into something else. So I can immediately see who's been my member for how long. But that's all the 99-cent tier get. The VIP tier is $3.99 a month, and that gets bonus members only videos, at least 1 a month, maybe sometimes more if more is going on in my life. And there's a whole backlog of videos as well for you to catch up on. And then my top tier, which gets everything the other tiers get, plus, well, it's a Health is Wealth tier. I actually need to talk to my Health is Wealth members about this, guys, because I'm thinking of changing it to a Health is Wealth book club. So you guys know I love books, but I also have a bit of a passion or penchant for... I'm so annoying. Why can't I just talk normally? I have a bit of a passion for self-help books, and I was like, everyone's got different tastes in fiction, and maybe one day I will do a fiction book club, but I was like, I would like a space to talk about my latest self-help books, because one of the other members' videos I did was about a people-pleasing book that I read, and everyone seemed to really enjoy it. So I'm going to be doing my next one very, very soon, which is a book called The Courage to Be Disliked. And it's really good. It's really challenging. Like, it's challenging my thoughts and feelings about life and the world. And I'm like, that's not true. And then I'm like, but is that true? So it's a really good read. But yeah, I'm going to... Oh, made me jump. You idiot.
I've literally been spying on you for a few minutes.
Oh, dear. You literally gave me a heart attack. Well, not literally. Figuratively, you gave me a heart attack.
Okay.
Why are you doing that?
Well, it was worth it.
Are you going to get me a drink?
What did your last servant die of?
Dysentery. Guys, palpitations. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to be changing that into a Health is Wealth book club. So let me know if you're interested in that. Janie says, will you and Keegan come to Texas together? Definitely. I don't know when, but one of my best friends lives in Texas, Vero. She's always been from Texas, but a couple of years ago, she moved back to Houston, which is where her family are from. So I'd love to go and visit her. And I really enjoyed Texas. Everyone seems to hate Texas. I don't know why. I really liked it when I went to Austin. So yeah, definitely, we will go at some stage. So this person says, how are things going with your investment property endeavor, or is it on hold with the acting? So firstly, again, cheeky plug, I did do an update for my members all about property investment, but I will go through in some detail here, not quite as much detail. If you are interested in like the ins and outs of like all the things that are going on, then you can go and join and watch that if you like. But yeah, it's on hold for the minute, not because of like acting. I'm not like acting at the minute. I'm focusing on like writing, and if anything I write gets commissioned, I'm obviously going to write myself into it. So I will be acting in that, hopefully. But yeah, it's just I've got so much going on at the minute. Plus, basically, I want more of a buffer in my business account. So there's two entities. I am me. I earn money like everyone else, and then I have a business. So all the money I earn goes into my business. And I say it's my business. It is. I'm the only shareholder of that business. However, I can't just spend the money in that account without getting taxed. So I could pull all the money out and put it in my personal bank account, but I get taxed to high heaven. So I don't. So I want somewhere to put that money that is sat in my business bank account. I want it to be invested somewhere. So I'm looking for a property to invest it in. Now I have a set amount reserved, but then I've got a really big tax bill to pay in July, which wipes out a big chunk of that. Which I hadn't quite prepared for. So I was like, I do have enough to invest in a investment property, but I won't have a buffer then. My business bank account will be like to zero. And then it's like, what happens if I have a very slow month on YouTube or on social media or voiceovers? Like I need to give myself that little buffer. Plus at the minute, prices are sky high in the north. The benefit of buying up north is that you can get property quite cheaply, but I don't know what's gotten into the north of England at the minute, guys. It's like they think they're down south. It's mad, the prices, and the houses aren't shifting up north either, and buyers aren't really taking offers. I've offered on a few properties, like under asking, like 20 or 30,000 under, which is what it's worth. But obviously that's like a slap in the face to these these sellers, and they're like, no, but they're still on the market. They haven't sold in 6 months, 9 months, a year. So I'm basically sort of waiting. In the UK, we've got a general election this year. And the hope is that after the general election, maybe the property market might pick up a little bit. But I don't know. Either way, it's not so much about that. It's more about saving. So I'm just earning money and saving at the minute. But I am lucky enough that I have my house in London still with Lucy. So that's being rented out at the minute. But we've just had to pay for a new boiler. So that's another like £3,500 gone paying for a new boiler because it's broken. It is about 12 years old, I think. So it's time for a new boiler. But when will you be coming to the US again and where? So the next one, we are going next May. So in a year's time with the kids to Florida. I know some of you will be rolling your eyes. We always go to Florida. Yes, because that's where we like to do our family holidays, whether I'm with my family or with Keegan and the kids. The kids are desperate to go back to Florida. That was the first time that they had ever been to the US. They absolutely loved it. They loved the pool. They loved the temperature. They're desperate to go back. So we've booked in for next year. Other than that, there are no current plans to go to the US again. But I do want to go to Nashville. And I know what some of you are saying, Joe, you keep going to the same places. It's because I'm one of these people that if I like somewhere, I want to go back. Like, I don't know why that's weird to people. But I do, because I know that novelty is a thing and people like to try new places. And I definitely want to explore new places in the US. But like, I loved Nashville. I loved going to Charlotte as well. Actually, did I love Charlotte? I loved Charlotte, but it was a bit boring. After a few days, it's like, you're kind of done. But like, I really enjoyed it as a city, and it's like, oh, I'd love to take Keegan to some of these places that he's not been to. I'd like to go to Nashville again, but I don't know when. We're going to be going on holiday with the kids later this year as well, but somewhere in Europe, but I don't know where. Tenerife has been suggested, but Tenerife don't want Brits at the minute. They're sort of like banning Brits from going on holiday there. So yeah, I don't know if we'll go there. This person said, can you do more videos of both of you visiting historical places like houses? Please visit Mapperton. Oh my gosh, I just Googled Mapperton House. Gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, well, if you're interested, I'll go. Those videos never do very well. None of you watch them. So some of you watch them, but they don't perform very well on my channel, but I enjoy doing it. So I need to use my National Trust membership more as well. I've been a National Trust member for like 2-3 years. And I have hardly used it, so I need to use that more. Do you now love living in the north? I did exactly the same as you 2 years ago for love. Yeah, I do. You know what? It's like, if it wasn't for my family living like 4 hours away or more, it would be perfect. Like, I've got no complaints really. Like, the north is great. It's beautiful. The people are nice. It's cheaper to live up here. Close to, like, it's a 2-hour train to London. It's really not that far. The only thing is not seeing my family as regularly. I really want to campaign for my parents to move up north, and my brothers too, but I don't think it's going to happen. What's the age difference between you guys? So Keegan is 4 years older than me. He's 36 and I'm 32. What's your secret for your beautiful teeth? Well, thank you. I actually, a year ago, just about, got composite bonding on these two teeth. So the front two are natural. They're all natural. But I just got some composite bonding put on those two because they're not the canines, are they? Because the canines are the next one along, but those ones were quite small. If you look back at old videos, you might notice. I thought it was a huge difference. I got it done about a year ago and I didn't tell you guys. I nearly cried when it was done. Not in a good way. He showed me my teeth. I think most people cry out of happiness and go, I love it. I went, what have I done? It was such a shock to me. I think because I look at my face so much. Not just in the mirror, but because I edit my videos, I'm constantly looking at my face, that it was so jarring to me. I hated it for weeks. I thought it was so obvious. I thought everyone was going to notice, but people didn't. People in my real life barely noticed. People online, none of you noticed. There was maybe like 2 of you that sent me a message or left a comment being like, oh, I see what you've done, looks good. And I was like, oh, they've noticed, but no one else noticed. So yeah, it's a very, very subtle change, but I absolutely love it. In general, I think I had very good teeth before. I've always had very straight teeth. I've never had braces. I've been blessed with good straight teeth. So that's all natural, but yeah, I got these to be the same length as my front 2 teeth. Do you worry that AI could take over in regard to voiceovers? I think so, a little bit. I spoke to my voiceover agent about it, but they didn't seem too concerned because there are lots of faults with AI that you can't sort of replace a human being in some senses. But yeah, I've had a company once approach me to say, like, if we paid you like, I think it was something like $5,000, you'd come in and record loads of, words, and then we'd have the rights to your voice, and then they could sell my voice to voiceovers. But that's it. Sure, I'd get $5,000, but then what? I wouldn't get paid at all. So it obviously is happening. I think the technology would have to get insane, like really, really good for people to replace that. But it could happen, absolutely. It could even happen on YouTube. There are some YouTubers that are just AI avatars, like that are just AI. And I don't know who watches them. I would never watch it. But this person says, if cost was not an issue, what antique book would you buy? Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you don't know, here's a tour of my antique book collection if you are interested. Do you know what? My favorite one that had been on my wish list since I was a teenager, I finally bit the bullet and bought it because when I was looking at it as a teenager, you could get a copy for like £300 or something, which is obviously a lot of money. But like, it just goes up and up and up, and you don't want to know what I paid for it, guys. But I'm hoping, I've bought it, because I'm obsessed with it. It's Peter and Wendy by J.M. Barrie. It's a first edition. I'm hoping it's going to go up in money even more, because things like rare books are an investment if you keep them safe and if you choose them correctly, which is one thing that I love about them. But yeah, I've just always wanted it, and I got it, I don't know, maybe again about a year ago or just over a year ago. It was a real treat. Maybe I shouldn't have bought it, but I love it. It's upstairs, carefully wrapped in bubble wrap and sealed away in a wardrobe, away from sunlight. I will show you it one day if you're interested. But in terms of a new favourite, I don't have one that I've ever wanted as much as that one. I think, to be honest, I would really love a first edition Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Now, I have a first edition third printing of the Ted Smart edition, which is the publisher, not Bloomsbury. I think when it was first published, there was 2 publishers. So the valuable one is the first edition, first printing of the Bloomsbury version, which can go for like, I don't know, 10k or something like that. Ridiculous. I've got the first edition, third printing of the other publisher, which was considerably cheaper. I think I only paid about £30 for it. But I've seen online, I think it's worth like maybe like 50 now. So, you know, it's quite cool. I enjoy it. But yeah, I would love a first edition Harry Potter, but it's just not going to happen. I'm not, you know, I can't afford to pay 10 grand for a book, even if it is an investment. So that's sad. But I also, being honest, I've had to like step back from my love for antique books and stop looking, because I get addicted to it, and I end up like, when I get into it, there's packages arriving at the door every day, and Keegan's like, another antique book, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you've got to stop. And he's right, I've got to stop. So I haven't looked for about 9 months. I've just not really been looking at what's on the market, because I'm like, I can't. Can you say hi to my bestie Jazz? We love you. Hey Jazz. There you go. There's a little shout out. How do you deal with guys constantly hitting on you and Keegan? I don't think they do they? I mean, on social media, yes, like get messages from people all the time saying, you're attractive, you're handsome, are you single? I'm like, you obviously have not followed my page for long if you think I'm single. But no, I don't think it's not hard to handle that. You just ignore the messages. I mean, it's nice as a compliment, isn't it? It depends in which way they've said it. If they've said it in a really creepy, predatory way, I'm like, ew. But if they've just said, like, I think you're really handsome, I'm just like, thanks. Well, I don't reply. And it's the same with Keegan, so I don't really mind. Would you like to move closer to a bigger city like Manchester, but still staying up north? Maybe. Like, the thing is, we're not that far. We drove to Manchester the other day. We're there in 45 minutes in the car. If I drive into Leeds, which isn't as big as Manchester, but there's still just as much to do, really, it's a 20-minute drive, so I'm already quite close. And as you might have seen from my vlogs, we live quite rurally. Like, we also don't, like, we live close to a main road that way if you walk that way, but if you walk that way, it's just fields and fields and fields. So it's like the best of both worlds, really. We've got a very countryside, rural feel here, and then just drive 2 minutes on the main road and there's a giant supermarket, and then 20 minutes and you're in Leeds. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's a burning desire, because I do feel close to the city. But yeah, probably if it was like, if location was no object, then maybe closer to Manchester. But then you pay a bit more in Manchester, around that area. And I say if location was no object, and that's because of the kids. So at the minute, we can't move anywhere that's like taking us super far away from the kids, because we still have to do the school run. Or I do the school run sometimes. It's mainly Keegan going back and forth. And it would just be like, if we moved towards Manchester, he'd have to spend like 2 hours in the car, you know, an hour there to pick up the kids, an hour back. So he doesn't really want to do that, and I don't blame him. What's one thing you find odd about America? Do you know what it is, guys? It's people saying, I could care less. What? Do you hear yourself? It's, I couldn't care less. The saying means, I could not care any less than I do right now, meaning I care the absolute least about what you've got to say. That's why it's, I couldn't care less. When you say I could care less, you're actually saying you care. I could care less. I could care less, because I care like here, but I could care less, meaning I kind of care. So why do Americans say I could care less? Like, is it a genuine saying, or is it people that have mistaken it, that they've heard people say I couldn't care less, but they haven't heard the nt, so they've just gone, oh, it's like could care less. It really grinds my gears. It winds me. I think it's because I did a linguistics degree, so I'm all into words and meanings and stuff like that, and I'm like think about what you're saying. You are literally, like, I'm helping you guys because if any of you guys say it, if you're in an argument and you say I could care less, you're meaning I care. So don't say it. That is one thing I find odd. Right, I've been speaking for like half an hour now, guys. Let me bring this into land. There are so many questions. Sorry I haven't been able to answer all of them. Some questions are a bit odd, guys. Have there been times when you've wanted to break up with Keegan and how did you manage it? No. Have you been to the Lost Cauldron yet? It looks amazing. Yes, I have. So the Lost Cauldron is my friend's shop. My friend Cherry Wallace, who you might have seen in some of my videos, or you might follow her on YouTube in her own right. I'm sure you do. She has opened a magical shop in Derbyshire called the Lost Cauldron. It's Harry Potter kind of elements in it, but it's not a Harry Potter shop. There's like Harry Potter inspiration there, but there's lots of witchy, wizardy, like magical things. And it's brilliant. I was lucky enough to go to the VIP opening before the grand opening. And I actually vlogged it for my members. So when I saw that question, I was like, I've already told you guys about this, but I haven't. It was in a members video. So beautiful. She's worked so hard on it. The ceiling is absolutely gorgeous. The apothecary like displays are not real. They're made by hand by her and Leslie, her business partner. So yeah, it's absolutely lovely. So if you're ever in Derbyshire, head to Matlock, a beautiful little village. And you can get yourself some magical wares. Oh, I like this final question. What other content creators are you loving at the minute? Oh, my battery died. Yeah, Maddie Grace Jepson on TikTok and Instagram. She's so weird, but so funny. Like, she is definitely my sort of sense of humor, like a little bit weird. Me and Lucy are constantly like sending her content back and forth. I actually met her when I got invited to the ITV Insiders event. I'm now put in the same category as someone like her, which is mad. I met her, gave her a little hug. Yeah, that's why I felt like a bit of an imposter, because another content creator I follow, Ayame, I think she's also brilliant and hilarious. Met her as well, also lovely, and I was just like, how am I in the same category as these people? Like, we are the class of 2024 for ITV, which I have some exciting things coming up with ITV, which is really cool. But yeah, it's I think those two are two of my faves. Another funny woman. I find women so much funnier than men. I don't know why. You know the whole mentality that sometimes some misogynist straight men have where they're like, women aren't funny. I'm like, I think women are actually funnier than men. Like, all my favourite comedians are women. Anyway, another one, Monica Gelder. She is, I don't know if I've said her name right. But anyway, she is brilliant. She's very, very funny. She does little skits as like a mum, like what the things your mum would say. Mums, when the neighbours have a barbecue, and she'll be like in the garden, like judging the smoke wafting over. But as soon as the neighbour speaks to her, she'll be like, oh, hi. So it's like very funny stuff that sometimes I send them to my mum because I'm like, this is you. So yeah, there's 3 recommendations for you. Not YouTubers, any of them, but they can't all be like me. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little Q&A. I definitely have. Keegan didn't bring me my drink, so that was rude. I'm gasping. I'm also hungry. It's lunchtime. So what a great place to end. Oh, my haircut is in an hour. Mustn't forget. Anyway, waffling. Thank you so much to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Don't forget you can scan the QR code or click the link down below if you want 60% off your first box, 20% off your next 2 months, plus free desserts for life. What a deal. Or use the code HelloWord. I love that code. Every code I have with brands from now on needs to be HelloWord. I just love it. I hope you have a lovely weekend, a lovely week ahead, and I'll see you next time. Bye.